Okay, our next, and you'll be glad to know, last initiative is probably the one that I'm most passionate about and very excited about. I think it's a tool that, at this moment in time, our sheep plants need because of the way the market has gone and because of the way board supply has changed over the years. So I'd like to introduce you to Alan Millar from Acumen Consulting, and he's going to show you the new, revised, and soon to be released board grade calculator app. Bit of a mouthful, but the board grade calculator app. Alan, thank you.
How we doing? As usual, I'm the last person on. I'm starting sort of like 10 minutes after I should have finished, and everybody wants a drink. Okay, so I'm here for two reasons. One is the box compression tool test. Box BCT tool. The second one is I'm looking for some recompense. Some years back, my mother looked out the window in Belfast and saw three strange men in her garden destroying the shrubbery, and I think I tracked him down, but I see he's already left. So he must have been frightened. Yeah, he's not behind me, is he? Yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about the BCT tool. Oh, sorry, wrong way. I'm upside down as well. Most people probably know me from doing lean manufacturing, but don't judge me, but in my sort of off time, I do like a spreadsheet. And I appear to be quite good at it. So Tim asked me to sort of take the existing tool and sort of upgrade it and sort of enhance it. So that's basically what I've done. So basically, it's an Excel-based application, and it's used to determine the box compression of a given box, and hopefully give some potential commercial implications or opportunities. It builds upon the previous incarnation of the tool through adding material costs in the mix to give the commercial slant, having a built-in palletization tool for finished goods if you don't already know that, and has an output sheet ready for PDF export with options for what we potentially could do either internally or externally. Now, last week I had COVID. Just to reassure the front row, I have tested negative since. So I did pre-record a demo of it just in case I wasn't going to be here. So I'm actually now about to finish my presentation, but sit down for 7 minutes while I show a video of it working. So let's hope it does work. Can you have to hit play, or do I just hit? You can. Just. Okay, so this is the BCT tool. Yeah. Excel-based application. Apologies for I did have COVID, and I had visible worksheets on the bottom. Can I stop it? To get set up, we input. I'm going to apologise for the thick nasal voice. I was also self-medicating on Lemsip and red wine at the time, so it may the audio on it may not be so good. But okay, so this is the BCT tool, Excel-based application, and we've got 6 visible worksheets on the bottom. To get set up, we input up to 3 different supplier price lists. And in each supplier price list, we name the supplier, how they refer to the board grade, their price breaks, and the cost per KSM under each price break. We then set up each supplier board grade combination, and we add to that information the ECT, if given by the supplier, outer liner colour, and calipers being used. If the supplier does not supply ECT values, then we can use the spreadsheet to calculate one for us. In this example, we do not have an ECT value here. But what we can do is input the paper and grammages that we think are used in that board grade, and it will calculate one for us. So once we've input the papers and the grammages, it has calculated out an ECT value, and that's what will get used going forward. This is where it all starts. This is where we click to get in the main menu, and we have 4 options and an exit button. The edit environmentals is simply a set of tables of values for environmental factors which will influence the BCT value. They might be for humidity, storage conditions, palletization. It includes a safety factor which we want for the plant, and that can be set to anything we'd like, and whether it's got any die cut or print elements to it. Make any changes, overwrite, hit apply, and they will be used going forward. Contact developer simply creates an email to me where you can add to the body of the text to ask me a specific question or issue or bug you've got with the application, and I will apply as soon as I can do. The theoretical BCT is a quick calculation where you input the length, width, height and a certain board grade, and it will calculate the theoretical BCT required. Let's look at a quick example. Once I hit calculate, it will work out the theoretical BCT, and here it is. The calculate potential board grades button is the one that will probably get the most use. And when we open that up, it has a lot of information to be filled in about details about the customer, the reference in the spec, length, width, height, any information we want about outer liner colour, so we can specify any colour, whether we want brown or white, or if anybody still uses it mottled. We can input our current board grade. We can add in perf or cut crease or hand holes, and if we want to make any changes to that, we bring up a pop-up menu. We can change it to what we want it to be and any value reduction in BCT. Click on that, and that will be the values being used going forwards. We can specify any flute that we'd like to use, whether it be any of them or individually click on the individual flute itself. Job quantity, annual quantity, which will give us a better indication of cost over the lifetime of the product. We can select any of the O2 FEFCO styles, and it will work out the slit and chop for us. And we can specify what sort of print we're going to have. Input the weight of the product, and it also allows us to enter a value for the percentage that the product itself will help support the weight requirement. So let's just look at a quick example. So here we have a 2 kilogram box for XYZ Limited. We want it in brown. There's no special features. We currently do it in 200 craft test B flute, 8,000 lots, once a month, 0201 light print. It's a fragile product, so it doesn't have any support from the product itself. Before we can go and do the calculation, we need to get the palletization in. We can select what we want it to be palletized for, the ambient storage humidity, and if we don't know the finished goods palletization, we can calculate it ourselves by clicking on the pallet calc button, selecting the pallets we think are allowed by the customer, doing a calculation. It's told us it's 8 per layer, 5 layers, 40 in a pallet. We'll use those results, and all we have to do is tell it how many pallets high it gets stored in. It's in racking, so it's only one, and now we can click on the calculate BCTs and start getting our options. So our board grade analysis results has popped up. We have 2 boxes. We have the green box and the red box. Everything in the green box has fulfilled our safety factor requirement and is in ascending order of cost. So the first line of the green box is our optimal board grade because it fulfills our safety factor, which we've currently set to 5, and is the cheapest board grade. So that is our optimal board grade. The ones in the red zone are the board grades that have just failed to meet the safety factor, and so I may be interested in looking at those as an option, because if I look at this one here, if I look at that, it's 7% below the safety factor, but it's got a cost saving of 11%. So I'm going to click on that because I want to consider that one as we go forward. I'm just going to select it. And now I can exit out to get ready to go and look at the results. The results will be on the PDF sheet. And on the PDF sheet, I've got my current board grade. I've got the optimal board grade. And if I looked at that optimal board grade, it could save as much as £10,000 a year, although it is a lower value in the terms of safety factor and BCT, it does still meet the safety factor requirement. If I wanted to look at this selected board grade where it fails to meet the safety factor but only by 7%, it has another cost saving opportunity available to it. So we could, if that one worked in a trial situation, we could be saving £15,000 a year. Now, we may not want to pass that on to the customer when I give them that information, so let's say we're going to split it 50-50. The values change, so that we do send him some information, we're showing him what we want to give to him. And also, I probably don't want to show him the cost per KSM and who the supplier is, so I'm going to hide those as well. And now if I want to, I can go in on the normal ways in Excel and export that as a PDF. The PDF will probably look something along these lines. So that concludes the brief tour of the BCT tool. I'm now available to take any questions.
Thank you, Alan.
So, is there any questions? Who's on the, is anybody coming tomorrow morning? Right, there's a few then. Do you have a laptop with you? Right, okay, that's good. And if you prepare some of your price sheets, you won't be sharing them with anybody else, just for yourself, but well, the idea is that when you leave tomorrow, you will have a working version of this. And yeah, well, that was another reason other than COVID that I thought it might be an idea to have a demonstration. So yeah. Okay.
Stay there, Alan, because I just want to add to what you've said. For a man who had COVID last week, to put that presentation together deserves a bloody big round of applause, I have to say.
Thank you very much. It's all in the red wine.
And fantastically, it was much briefer than if he'd done it live. So
Yeah.
we get to the bar earlier, which
exactly,
is fantastic. Yeah. Now, if you can try and understand how much coding and work has gone into that compared with its predecessor, I negotiated hard with this man, with your money, to get that done. I'm going to have to revisit that because it turned into a Goliath, didn't it?
It's by far the worst piece of business I've ever done in my consulting.
So for that, I think we all need to give him a big round of applause and buy him a pint at the bar. So
Thank you very much.
Yes, I always get value, but I didn't realise how much value we were going to get. What a fantastic piece of work. And it has been beta tested at our factory for the last 3 or 4 weeks. We have found some glitches. Some are surmountable, some are a little bit stickier, but we're very, very close to having a full working program as I understand it. So a brilliant bit of work. And for those who didn't understand the reference about tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, a 1.5 hour tutorial on how to get started with this, how to use it, and hopefully you'll be able to leave that tutorial tomorrow being able to start using that program straight away. So Alan, personally, thank you very much, and on behalf of members, that is going to be a free tool to all sheep plants in the association. So thank you, Alan. Another round of applause. Okay, we're very close to bar time now. Just a couple of notices. Just so you're aware, the Sheep Plant Association is co-opting 2 new committee members. We haven't decided who they are yet, but one will be for sustainability and one will be for membership and driving new membership. Okay. I'd like to again thank our sponsors today, Avanti and BW Paper Systems. I'd like a show of hands as well, because I don't want to chase a rabbit that doesn't need to be chased. About 12 months ago, I did an industry induction course for all new employees in our industry. It was very well received. I'm thinking of doing another one, so I'd just like a show of hands. If you've got any new employees, would an industry induction course be useful? If so, please, if there's 6, I'll do it. Oh, there's more than 6, that's great. So we'll get that scheduled in the next 2 or 3 weeks, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
About new people coming into the
Yes.
industry. I think years ago there used to be a course where you could go and you could find out what does a bee want to have testing. It might be my ignorance, but I think there's a gap there that someone...
Okay. Well, interestingly, the industry induction that I do does give an introduction to board grades. It keeps it very, very simple. It's not technical at all, but it does illustrate the difference in flute profiles and papers and that sort of thing. So that's all part of the induction course. I can actually share the induction course with you, and you can have a look at it. And if you think there's anything missing, I can add it in. Okay, I'll actually do that induction course myself, and it was very interactive. I think we had 30-odd people last time on it, and it was great. They went away feeling that they'd joined a great industry. So a little bit like what Neil was saying about how do you retain people, give them the confidence that they've joined an excellent industry. So, yeah, okay. I'm going to get prompted here. I'm sure I've got that many notes on here. Yep, talked about the industry induction course. The golf competition tomorrow has been cancelled, only because, well, a couple of reasons. 2 people aren't here that were going to play, and the organiser, unfortunately, has a sick mother-in-law. So, yeah, that's going to be postponed until the 105th conference, which is... Oh, there we go. Thank you. That's why you need a good team. There we are. So 27th of February, and it's at the Forest of Arden Marriott, which we've been to previously. So sales masterclass, reminder, Tuesday the 25th. That's with Stuart. So on motivation and how you get the best out of your team, especially in the area of sales. Corrugated industry induction course we've mentioned. And we've also got a date for the 106th conference. So we're planning ahead, June 2023. And for those suppliers in the room who say, what about the trade show? When's that coming? Early 24. It's a fair way off. We have a plan, and that will, I'm actually going to visit the venue on the 7th. We have a plan to run a big show at Silverstone. Okay, big halls, proper show, nice new Hilton hotel. And I'm hoping that we're going to do it in conjunction with another association, yet to be confirmed. So, I think we're going to be going in March. I think it's going to be, because I think there are some other, I think Drupal is in June or July, so we're going to do it well before then. So, is there anything else? Am I covered?
Survey.
Oh yes, there's a little, forget my notes, there's a little QR code on there. Please scan it and take at least, take a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Just give us some feedback on today, because unless we know whether we're doing a good job or not, we might be driving this association down a hole. We don't want to do that. So thanks for your attention today. I know we've overrun slightly, but please have a drink on us, on our sponsors, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.